These are the 10 stages of a spiritual awakening. Which one of them are you in right now? Stage 1 is where you're trapped in some sort of repeating pattern, or some situation, or some cycle that you just can't break out of. In this stage, we're unconscious about our patterns or the dramas that we're participating in. This is where we're just going through life almost on autopilot. It's like the only things that we're aware of are the things that are happening in our life. Like we're in this bubble where nothing else exists. And we're content to live inside of this bubble, only aware of our pain, or at best, the mediocre life that we live. We stay in this bubble until stage 2. Stage 2 is where something in your life rocks you to your core and pops that bubble. Something so painful and traumatic happens that we're forced to take inventory on our life. This is where we begin to see that there's more to reality than what's happening around us. Also, due to the shock and trauma of this phase, this is where we start to understand there's more to our existence than this physical reality. Stage 3, this is where we're forced to sit and face our pain. Whatever happened in stage 2, the pain doesn't automatically go away. Here in stage 3 is where we're forced to actually sit with it. And we sit with it, unable to escape it until we have some sort of insight about what happened. Then this brings us into stage 4, the perspective shift. This is where we start to find meaning in what happened in stage 2. We start to really understand the lessons that came out of that pain. And that leads to the radical shift in perspective that so many talk about after a spiritual awakening. It's like you've opened up to an entirely new world. Stage 5, exploration. This is where you start to do research on your new perspective and ideas, where many of you will find your way into this new spiritual information throughout the spiritual community. And we all know how overwhelming that can be. So this is where we start to pick some new information from our research and begin to explore it. This exploration is going to bring you right into stage 6, community. This is where you're going to start to take some courses, maybe go on a few spiritual retreats, and start to meet people that have gone through something similar like you. You'll find comfort in community and gravitate towards the ones that have had similar experiences. And then we hit stage 7. Fucking stage 7. No one likes this one. This is where your old patterns and beliefs that you had before your spiritual awakening come to bite you in the ass. We've been busy exploring, researching, and enjoying our new community. Our perspective has completely shifted and we've opened up to this wonderful, amazing new reality. There's so many wonderful things that you've learned about that you can't wait to explore. But the emotional baggage that we accumulated prior to our awakening is still with us. Then we yo-yo back and forth from this amazing new world back into our old beliefs and patterns. We find something new to explore to distract us from our pain, and we stay in this cycle until one of two things happen. We're either going to get sick and tired of the roller coaster we're on and move into the next phase, or we're going to experience another stage 2 spiritual awakening. One way or another, you're going to make it into stage 8, and this is where we heal. We get here once we've explored all of the superficial spiritual healing modalities and realize that nothing permanently lasts. So we decide to really face our pain and go and do some deep healing work. This is where we finally decide to work with professionals that are trained specifically for trauma. We face the awful things that happened to us as a child, the things that we've been trying to forget our entire adult life but haven't been able to. We get help processing grief from that tragic loss. We face all of the traumatic experiences that caused shock in our body. Now, this is the most difficult, painful stage of them all, but it's also the most rewarding. The first time you liberate from even a piece of your trauma, it doesn't have to be all of it. You're going to experience life-changing results. There's such a euphoric release, even when you let go of a little bit of your bullshit. Now, after you've done a bit of deep healing work, you're going to move into stage 9, and this is where you're going to share some wisdom. This is where you're going to share the things that you've learned along your journey to help other people. Now, I'm not saying that you need to become some sort of a spiritual guru, open a healing center, and start doing all this spiritual work. I mean, you certainly can if you feel guided to, but this is what I really mean by sharing wisdom. When you come across people who you're further ahead of in this process, and believe me, you will, you're going to start to help them. The way that you do that is by just simply sharing your experiences. You're going to just listen. Even if you have all of the answers to everything they're talking about, just listen. Make sure that they're heard and understood. Then instead of giving them the answers or a lecture, you share how you overcame something similar. Now you go into stage 10, where you continue to work on yourself, but on a deeper level. Once you get here, you've developed a very intimate connection with yourself. You become super self-aware. So any issues that come up, you're able to go that much deeper into them and resolve them that much faster. So you go through the healing process very fast for each issue that comes up. That's all of it. Spiritual Awakening 1 through 10. Let me know if you're stuck anywhere.